What is up, my friends on the internet? Back at it with another video, and back at it with the Honda Trail 125. You're actually sitting on the Trail 125 right now. So if you've been waiting to get your hands on one, congratulations, you finally get to ride it. But on today's video, I am gonna talk to you about, while the case may be that I love this motorcycle, I love almost every single thing about this motorcycle, I'm gonna change almost every single thing about this motorcycle. Stick with me and we'll get into why I'm doing that. Okay, here it is, my Trail 125. I love this motorcycle, like I said, I really do. This bike is incredible. If you're looking for a turnkey bike that you can just go and have a blast with, get your commute done with, go on some trips with, do whatever it is you want to do that like a basic motorcycle can do, this will do it. It'll also really help you learn your like off-road abilities, because it's really forgiving. This is not a video about why I love the bike. I've made that video time and time again. Which is kind of why I need to change things about this bike. But to kind of recap, it's just really simple. You got a semi-auto transmission, you got a pretty reasonable seat height, you got really low weight, you got lots of utility. It really presents a nice out-the-door, great adventure package, great off-road package, great commuting package. But I run a YouTube channel where I have to keep you entertained. I have to keep making videos and keep making videos and keep making videos. And while I go off-roading this bike a lot, I'm actually off-roading this bike right now. It was a little wetter than I thought, so it's kind of gross and muddy and covered in wet grass and whatnot. But while I do this fairly often, I don't do this enough to completely sustain the channel. And I also don't do much else that's like channel worthy these days. I have a full-time job, essentially. I don't necessarily go there full-time, but I have a career. I have a house to maintain. I have personal relationships. I have, there's constantly something broken on my car. You know, there's just always things to do. I have like other projects that aren't necessarily like involved with the channel that like isn't like my YouTube personality. They're just like things that I find interesting. I teach classes, I draw pictures, I do all these things, you know, and they suck up time. They suck up time from going on adventures with this bike. And that's generally what I've been doing on these channels, is just making travel videos, making adventure videos, and doing like reviews of stuff. So if you're gonna do reviews of stuff, stuff has to keep changing. Most of the channel's audience here, I think, came from when I was heavily modifying a Kawasaki Versys 650. I took that bike that everybody said wasn't a great adventure bike, and I just threw the beans at it. I did every single thing you can do to that bike to make it as good as physically possible at my intended task, which was daily riding, commuting, going on big road trips, and off-roading. All the things that I actually want to do with this motorcycle. So I'm gonna do the exact same thing again. I am gonna just scour the extensive aftermarket and upgrade every single part of this bike to make it as good at that job as possible. I'm imagining the Versys build all over again, but at like two quarter size, like half scale, you know, I don't know. Maybe it's 3/4 scale, probably not. But yeah, a micro ADV bike is my goal. I want to basically have like the Africa Twin 125 is my goal when this thing is done. So it's gonna get new wheels, it's gonna get luggage, it's gonna get just everything is gonna get touched for the most part. The only thing that I'm not gonna touch is the engine. I think the engine is just rock solid, bulletproof. I don't wanna go messing with it. I don't wanna make it loud because I really love like adventuring and like being stealthy, going in the woods and whatnot. So the power plant itself is gonna stay the same, but you can just expect every other part to change in some way, whether big or small. My plan for the build, because it is gonna be so extensive, the Versys build, for instance, took me 2 to 3 years to finish because I was just constantly like finding the best part, making it work, buying it when I had the extra scratch. I'm a pretty frugal person when it comes to stuff, so like throwing down like a big stack of money and buying all the parts at once just doesn't sit well with my brain. I do better just buying a thing here, buying a thing there, which is gonna be cool because it'll also force me to roll out these videos in like a normal amount of time versus just like making them all and throwing one up a day for 2 weeks and then being like, that's it. My goal is to try to put out one build video on this bike every 2 weeks. So I'll put a video out every week. Week 1 will be like maybe going out and riding or whatever that is. Then week 2 will be a build. Week 3 will be going out riding, doing whatever. Week 4 will be build. I have other bikes that I can ride for videos. This isn't, for the most part, isn't going to be in like a huge state of disrepair since I am doing one part at a time. I plan for those videos to be a complete install of some part or a complete modification of some part from start to finish. That way, if you want to copy it, you can do it. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to start on the front end just to kind of keep myself in check. I've already ordered some parts. I wanted to roll out these videos sooner, but the cool thing about ordering parts from Japan is that they're really cheap. The bad part of ordering parts from Japan is they take forever to get here. And I just ordered 3 parts from a Japanese company, and they made it to New York somehow. I'm like aiming, you can't see my hand because I'm not using a GoPro, so it's not super wide, but they made it to New York, like over there. And they sat in like a customs facility there for a week and then went back to Japan, and now they're in Thailand, which is what I'm guessing is the country of origin, and Japan was like some authorized dealer. But anyway, they're very, very far from me in Atlanta, Georgia, so I'm having to deal with the company to get those shipped out again. With that being said, I felt a little hazy about that company, so I ordered a bunch of other stuff from a different company, and I was just kind of waiting on things to show up so I can start the build. But kind of just quickly running through what I plan to do. This is going to be a quick gloss over. A lot of stuff is changing, but this is going to be the quick gloss over really fast. I'm going to change the wheels. The wheels are going to get a mag wheel. So I can go tubeless, but I'm going to find something that's still pretty good off-road, something that's beefy quality, but I want to go tubeless for long road trips. I don't want to be going down some crazy highway pass in the dark, trying to change a tube when I get a flat. I want to be able to plug and go as quickly as possible, so those are going tubeless. The front forks, I'm going to upgrade the suspension. I've already found the parts for that. I'm just going to make that a little bit more compliant. The headlight, I'm doing 2 things too. We are going to put on a bash guard here so I don't break this on some rocks, and then we're gonna also put on a little shelf here that adds a little just carrier. They're called like front headlight carriers. That way I can put an extra little thing here just to like store my like gas bottle or whatever, like whatever it may need to be. A little tank bag full of my tools on there. The bike is really small, so luggage capacity is going to be difficult, so having that little surface there to put some more stuff will be great. Up here, the handlebars are probably going to stay the same, but I am adding a top rail that goes from there to there. That way I can mount either my phone or designated GPS. I want to be able to do like kind of everything on like an ADV bar like you'd see off the windscreen of a bike. So I can have my designated GPS, so I'm not worried about like cell phone service or anything like that. I'll just have that wired directly into the bike so it's powering itself. And then I'm going to try to find one that has a backup battery, so if for some reason the bike is not powered on, that thing can still operate for some length of time, just to get me out of the weeds. Turn signals are going to stay the same because I actually like them. They're pretty good units, but I am going to put covers on them. Again, bash covers. The ones that I found so far are plastic, which aren't going to do a whole hell of a lot, but I'm hoping to find some metal ones. But the whole headlight assembly itself is plastic, so I might just do it for looks, because it will look cooler. But these headlights or these turn signals are really cool because they are soft. So like I've dropped the bike and they just compress and move out of the way. The whole assembly is soft, like rubber. So not much can break there. That was really well thought out by them. I am not the biggest fan of ram mount anymore. I keep saying I'm going to make a video about ram mount versus quad lock, but quad lock is the answer. That video will come out soon, but the ram mount's going to go, a quad lock is going on, ideally onto that top rail. I imagine like I'll have my like cell phone here, like angled down, or like my GPS unit here, so that all these things are still visible in some way. I need to work that out. Mirrors are going to go. They're going to get replaced with folding enduro mirrors so they can fold out the way on the trails and not be like the first point of contact. You can see my bar end is taking a beating today. Those are fine. The center of the bike here, we're going to get a center carrier. Again, I want to optimize luggage. I want to get as much stuff on this bike as I can without it having to be on the seat, because as we're moving back, I'm going to be adding a passenger seat to the bike. That way we can go 2 up. I love a little mini moto coffee date, so I need to get back to my former glory of doing that. Throwing the cutie on the back. Right here, I'm going to throw on the passenger pegs, obviously, to pair with the seat. There's some really cool clip-on ones that I'm going to do that because I don't want to go drilling into my swing arm. I've also looked into buying a Euro swing arm that is already drilled. That way I can just have it come in and plug the parts in. I might do that depending on how much I want to get into this. That is cool. But yeah, the passenger accommodations are coming, which of course is going to mean this bag has to go. I haven't decided how I'm going to solve that problem yet. That will be in a future video, but the 2 options are get a smaller bag and shift it back behind the seat, or add in an auxiliary rack that replaces all of this. So you have seat and a rack. So the bag is here. And then there's a passenger seat. And then maybe even run GV hard luggage so that there's the backrest on there. Because I have that big old case that was on the Versys. Roll in a picture of the Versys, future me. But yeah, I have that. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do a side carrier here to get another bag on the bike. My goal is to get a soft saddle bag that I can put on there, but underneath I'll add the mounts for an additional fuel can, so that there'll be an auxiliary gas tank here and my extra liter here. Wherever I end up putting this, it might be on the front carrier, but I'll have a bunch of extra gas. This bike is so good on fuel economy that having just those 2 little containers of gas is like hundreds of miles. I'll be doing amazing with that. Again, taillight, I haven't decided what I want to do, but it is going to change to something more low profile. And then the turn signals here are also going to get whatever protection I get for the front will go on the rear. Rear fender, I actually don't mind. It's going to stay the same. Exhaust is going to stay the same. Like I said, the entire powertrain is going to stay the same, but rear suspension is also going to change. I want something beefier. I may even see if I can get something that's a little bit more long travel, get this bike a little taller. I don't think that's possible for the front, but I do think it's possible for the rear. So I might do a little bit of a Dyna situation where I rake it up a little bit. We don't know. But yeah, that's the plan so far. And lastly, the only thing that's jumping out to me right now is these 2 pieces. I don't love that they're silver and I don't love the quality of them. So I'm gonna replace this brake pedal with something that's black and hopefully matches this a little better. If I can find the full set and like something that just looks more high quality, I'll probably buy all of that. I may upgrade the kickstand or the Kickstarter. I don't ever use it, but looks good. I mean, it's good to have, so I might wanna make it just look good. And then the engine crash bars here, I found bigger, beefier ones, so I'm probably gonna get those. If I get those, that means I have to switch the skid plate there, which I'll just do. Hopefully I can find all that stuff in like some black anodized, more beefy stuff. But yeah, that's the build idea. I think it's gonna be great. I'm gonna sit you down here so I can look at you again. Dun, 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 dun. Whoa, 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 calm on down, camera. So that's the plan. It's a lot. I'm hoping to roll out one of those mods every other week for the foreseeable future until I'm done. In like the grand scheme of things for this channel, I want to keep this bike forever. So I felt like investing in it makes a lot of sense. This is my favorite motorcycle I've ever owned. I've owned a lot of the same kind of bike, and every time I get one, I'm like, this is it. I love the trail. I love the Honda Cub. I love all of these mini motos. I'm really, really, really a mini moto enthusiast. And I think if you're gonna have one mini moto for like forever, this is the one to have. So I'm gonna keep it long term, and as I buy other mini motos, the loose plan is to finish this one as like the template for like how I want to do these videos and how I want to roll these out. And then annually I'll have a new series where I'll grab a new small bike and do it all over again and all over again and all over again. But this one will always be my bike. This one will be the first one. This one will be the one I keep. And as I get other bikes, I'll acquire one, build it for whatever, a year. When I'm done, maybe I'll raffle it off. Maybe I'll sell it to the dealer, whatever. I'll unload it one way or another. Maybe one of you guys will want them when it's completely built. And then after that, I'll buy another one and just keep doing this because I love these bikes and I want to keep modifying these bikes as much as physically possible. I'm also getting rained on now, so I'm gonna call it for this video because I'm using 2 cameras currently that neither one of them is waterproof. Well done, good job me, right? I'm killing it. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this, please, please, please hit subscribe. The subscriber count has been rising pretty steadily and that is so sick. I'm like, I don't know, I'm just so humbled that you guys watch these videos, that you guys are stoked on mini motos like I am, that you're stoked on all of the random things that I'm doing. So I appreciate your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please push the button. If you like this video and you want more Trail 125 content, please hit thumbs up because that will kind of show me what I need to push out. Like I'm gonna do this regardless. There's no stopping it now. The train is rolling, but if I post a video and it gets like no traction, no thumbs up, no comments, whatever, the subscriber count doesn't jump, I tend to not make that kind of stuff again. So when you guys are liking these videos specifically, when you're liking the video you're watching, that's how I'm gonna make more of those videos. I'm gonna do exactly what gets the most likes because I'm attempting to entertain you and I don't wanna put stuff out that's not entertaining. But that's a whole nother rant for another day. I love you all, every single one of you, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.